Hello there! I heard you're looking to choose your first class, or which one to level next in Final Fantasy XIV Online. Well, you're in the right place. As a certified content completionist, I'll tell you how each of the 19 classes feels to play, and how their core mechanics work at max level, guaranteed. Keep in mind that while playing Final Fantasy XIV, every class is considered viable at clearing even the most challenging content, so you should always pick one based on how it looks, feels, and plays. There are 5 different main roles within this game, and each has its own unique purpose in a combat setting. The role that engages the fight first, and the one that we'll be talking about first, are the tanks. You already know what comes with this role. It's tanks, the classic. You just talk shit and get hit by the boss until either its health bar or yours hits 0. Thankfully, there's tons of tools to prolong an untimely death through shields, heals, or reducing incoming damage, also known as mitigating. Despite every tank performing the same function, each big beefy boy has its own big beefy boy way of getting the job done. Come on, I know you got more than that. With sword and shield in hand, the Paladin is the lover of all things holy and no heresy. Unless it's participating in some catgirl debauchery. Wiping any sinning under the rug, the Paladin is a stalwart shield and amazing ally for protecting both itself and its party members. They have plenty of options for reducing incoming damage, or just straight up taking attacks for your teammates. Throughout the Paladin's kit, there's a lot of self-healing in their abilities and in their damage combos. This helps you stay topped off when the healer decided not to show up today. A Paladin's damage rotation revolves around them using a physical phase, and then transferring into a magic phase that effectively turns you into a ranged spellcaster for the duration. Rinse and repeat this until the boss is no longer tickling your health bar. Managing a damage over time attack, or DOT, also exists within the Paladin's rotation to keep their numbers ticking. In the name of the tanks, the healers, and the dead DPS, the Paladin will always be there to lend you a helping hand. Do you ever wonder what's going on inside someone's head? Armed with a big fucking great axe, warriors are trained to release their inner beast and then decimate anything that so much as twitches on the battlefield. They go fast, they go hard, they go raw. Instead of using baby protection like shields, warriors use their whole ass health bars as their damage reduction. Did you so much as touch my health bar? No you didn't. Suddenly low health? No problem here. You can afford to play reactively with your health bar due to the insane healing powers of your abilities. Warrior every day keeps the healers far away. In addition to being a one-man army, the warrior also possesses a very simple damage rotation that's easy for anyone to learn. Going through your combo gives you access to more powerful abilities, and once every minute you go absolutely apeshit, unleashing your inner beast, and you can use these abilities for free. You also unlock the secrets to the ever-so-coveted Monkey Spin. You quite literally have to try and kill yourself to die with this class. Oh boy, here we go.
I got your picture, I'm coming with you, dear Maria, come in. There's a story at the bottom of this bottle and I'm the pen.
Sentinels that take up the greatsword and quite literally channel the darkness from inside of them, Dark Knights protect those who society forgets. They must remain in control of their raging emotions, or they'll be pushed over the edge, becoming the darkness. Now what makes a Dark Knight quirky, and not like the other tanks, is that they can shield damage and then deal it back. However, they need to use this shield proactively, since they lack self-heal options that other tanks do. This is why learning fights are key to time your damage, so you won't end up at the edge of your health bar. Learning the rotation is quite similar to that of warriors. Your rotation unlocks access to more powerful abilities, and every minute you can go berserk to cast them for free. Where they differ is that the Dark Knight has a cutting-edge burst combo that rivals even some DPS classes. While maintaining a consistent damage increase, You get to let the world know why you deserve to be paid attention to for buffs from your party members. You even get to summon a stand assisting in your frenzy of abilities. No matter how cool they may look on the battlefield, never let a Dark Knight on the Ox. Listen to this bop. They're pretty underground. Wielding a big honkin' gunblade, Gunbreakers can't stop, won't stop tanking until they or the boss drops first. They're the tank to challenge an Eldritch Beast to an arm wrestle before cranking 90s on its bitch ass. Fueled by a diet consisting of black coffee, white monster, or clinically dangerous levels of pre-workout, Gunbreakers are extreme tanking. You're gonna need this extreme energy for all the extreme combos you'll have to pull off. A Gunbreaker's base rotation stores charges that you can unleash to execute high damage combos. The optimal time to expend these charges is during your burst phase. You have two modes as Gunbreaker. You're either bursting or you're tanking. When you're bursting, pray to God the boss doesn't hit hard because either your healer has your back or your back will be in a casket. Pressing mitigations during this time span can be difficult due to your hands playing Osu in an MMO. Despite being distracted in the damage department, this job certainly holds its own in the tanking aisle. Gunbreakers have access to potent regeneration abilities on short cooldowns to keep their caffeine-fueled rage benders going until the sun comes up. They can also share these with teammates to keep them healthy. This is the tank with the most zoomer energy, and they will definitely ask where your retirement home is if you're above the age of 25. This role should pretty much make sense too. Healer, the one who heals. Your job is to keep the party's health bar above 0. Or don't, I'm not your dad. Healing does carry an immense responsibility in this game, but the learning curve isn't as steep as you may think. Healers have the simplest DPS kits out of any role, so you can focus on keeping others alive. In case someone does end up dropping, every healer has access to a resurrection that can bring a party member back from the dead. There are two different types of healers to look at. Pure healers fill your health bar nice and easily, and shield healers help prepare your health bars for damage via shields and mitigations. Using a cane that harnesses elements from the earth to defend others, white mages are the purest of pure healers. If they see you have any missing health from your health bar, they'll find a way to fill it up. White mages possess a large variety of potent heal and regeneration spells to keep the party alive. The specialty of this class is the simplicity in how it heals. If you see a low health party member, just press any button on them and they'll probably be alright. However, looks can be deceiving because the simple white mage has a special trick up their sleeve. Once every 30 seconds, they can receive the option to cast a free single target or AoE heal. Upon casting 3 charges, they can unleash attack dealing an insane amount of damage. If you ever hear a manic healer sitting in the corner muttering, "Blood for the blood lily, blood for the blood lily," they simply want your health bar to go down so their damage can go up. When you're playing white mage, you're basically playing God with your team's health bars. Blood for the blood lily. Armed with an arcane grimoire, scholars have proved that the pen is mightier than the sword, and they have the tactics to prove it. The first shield healer on this list, this job has many tools to preemptively shield and mitigate incoming damage for the party. Assisting in their scholarly shielding, they're able to summon a fairy to deal out additional help. If a party member is low, the fairy can give them the suck. It also has the potential to pump out massive healing bonuses and shields within its radius. The trick here is that all of these spells affect the area around your fairy, so if you leave her out in the middle of Africa, your party members will be wondering where the hell their health bars went. Okay, that's enough of you. Let's get back to the bookworm. The Scholar uses a gauge of 3 charges that allows them to deal more damage or provide extra protections to the team. You replenish this gauge every minute or by eating your fairy for a short time. With these charges, you'll need to calculate whether it's worth to smack the boss or smack down some heals. Each time you use a charge, it increases your fairy's suckometer, for a potent regen on a single target. Even though the Scholar is prepared for any situation, be careful not to run out of stacks prematurely, because the Scholar is unable to heal up a party to full as efficiently as pure healers can. I made a calculated decision, but man am I bad at math. Guided by the stars and using their trusty planisphere, Astrologian is a pure healer that makes sure your health bar is always safe, provided Mercury isn't in retrograde. This job has weaker straight-up heals than the White Mage, but offers more regenerations and delayed healing. Being able to predict the future is a core part of the Astrologian's gameplay. Much of their delayed healing is placing an ability down, letting your teammates get hit, and then healing them from a large portion of the damage dealt. Or you can just try to manifest that their health bars will go down slowly so that they don't all die. The way that an Astrologian stands out from the crowd, definitely not a pick-me healer, is their card system. Drawing a card from their deck, Astrologians either get the random option to buff a select melee or ranged party member. This is a great option for increasing the damage of your best performing players, assuming they aren't giving you Scorpio or Taurus Rising vibes. Additionally, the more unique cards an Astrologian draws, the more benefits they receive. For example, if all 3 previously drawn cards are different, they receive increased mana regeneration, reduced cast times, and increased damage. Now, as if one card system wasn't enough, Astrologians also have another card system that draws either free damage or free heals. Managing all of your cards requires quick decisions, much like finding out how to avoid an unlucky horoscope. Don't worry though, the planets have aligned favorably this week, and you will find the cat girl you deserve. Oh yeah, here we go. Raining down lasers using their Nuliths, the Sage is here by the power of friendship to blast away any enemies that may hurt their party. As the newer shield healer of the bunch, the Sage will let you know shields are coming with flashy animations. On top of looking fly as fuck, the Sage has the highest personal DPS out of any healer. You like damage? I like damage. But wait, there's more. The Sage gets to deal lots of damage, and they get to heal for free. That's right, for free. All you have to do is slap this little thing on a party member, and just for killing the boss, you get to heal your teammate. Wow, what a deal! Sage Industries are not responsible for any raging party members as a result of you not healing them. Along with passive healing, the Sage has extremely strong shields and mitigation tools to help with upcoming damage that the boss may throw your way. Combining both damaging and shielding together, Sages are able to augment their abilities to produce different effects. This funny little button changes your standard damage button into a damage over time, and it also changes a standard heal into a heal with a shield. Much like White Mage, Sage receives free heals and mitigations via a charge system that comes around every 20 seconds. They can send the heals over to a single person or the entire party list if they so choose. And if any of your friends are in trouble, you can fly right to their side and be the amber lamps they need, not the one they deserve. Hello again! You've made it pretty damn far. I'll keep it brief. If you're enjoying the video, consider leaving a like or giving a sub. I have a goal on making the best Final Fantasy XIV videos this next year, and I want you to come along for the ride. If you're really loving it, share this with a friend who you've been trying to get to play for months, or a streamer so that they can have a haha funny or two. Hi chat, hope you're having a good day. Thank you for your time, and without further ado, let's get right onto the melee DPS. Now that we've gone through the tanks and healers, it's time to get onto the damage dealers. And damn do melee DPS bring the heat. Hugging right up to the boss's ass is their comfort zone. This is easily the most technical role, with each class needing to occasionally hit positions on either the rear or the flank of the boss for maximum damage. Being up so close can often lead to precarious situations, but every melee has a quick way of maneuvering around the battlefield to adjust when things crash and burn. Melee is a fast-paced role, and every class has its own way of getting in close and doling out damage. Using their bare fists to fight the dangers of the world, the monk isn't afraid to get in close and start beating away. In a fantasy world where heroes have options to blast things with magic or stab things with swords, the monk just looked down and said, these'll do. Monk's damage rotation is done by shifting through stances in a set order. It's a very fluid rotation that allows you to swap between different damage combos as long as you activate the next stance. These stances are shifting by lightning fast, since monks have the shortest delay between their casts of any other class. And that's gotta be the best way to describe monk: speed. You're punching hard, you're punching fast. You're juggling the most amount of personal and party buffs of any melee job. Your critical hits build stacks that allow you to uppercut baddies. You don't have a leap back, so you must run away from your problems instead. It can be difficult, it can be punishing, but step back and take time to reflect upon your actions. Why monk? Monk. Monkey? Monk. Me. This job has a very high skill ceiling upon reaching max level, but feels extremely rewarding to play when learned. Leveling it from the beginning will teach you how to go from Grasshopper to Grandmaster. Eventually, other jobs may feel slow since they don't quite compare to the speed of the monk train. Descending from the sky to plunge their lance deep into the hearts of dragons, Dragoons make for the most amazing airborne assailants. Did I mention this job fucking flies? This job fucking flies. Or they just jump really high. Basically the same thing at this point. Dragoons are best known for using their jumps to deal damage, close gaps, and even create gaps between their enemies. Not only do Dragoons own the skies, they also own party buffs by increasing everybody's critical hit rate for a short time. They also have a tether that tells another DPS, "You're special," and you both get to deal more damage. Taking a look at the Dragoon's damage rotation, there are two very long combos that you'll cycle through, but they loop together nicely, so you'll always know where to put your fingers next. Oh yeah, totally forgot about that dragon part, huh? Well, basically these guys don't like dragons. So much that they become the projectile and snipe them out of the sky. Taking inspiration from their sworn enemies, Dragoons throw out dragon-looking things every now and then. Upon throwing out two of these dragon-looking things, you become imbued by a dragon's power and can activate draconic magics and unlock the mother of all jumps. Sneaking around at the speed of sound and using kunais to silence any saboteurs, ninjas are just about as ninjas get. They sneak, slice, and fucking dice anything that gets in their way. Believe it! Ninjas have a very versatile kit when it comes to dealing damage. They have a standard damage rotation where they need to maintain a buff that keeps attacks coming in quickly. Where you can begin to forge your own ninja way is through casting a short series of hand signs that activate many different jutsus. These jutsus serve a variety of purposes. Some allow you to deal damage from a distance, some grant you access to personal damage buffs, and one is completely useless. Don't worry though, almost all of them will be used at some point during your missions. You are able to free cast these jutsus in between your rotation, so you don't need to worry about messing that up. During your standard rotation, you build up a resource that you can expend upon a strong attack or a shadow clone jutsu that will mimic your next few moves. Ninjas live up to their class identity as they can quickly slide from melee to ranged and then back again with a combination of their jutsus, a distance control blink, and letting you become the Chidori that you've always wanted to be. The decision making needed for jutsus and movement options can take time to figure out, but after this training arc, you'll be the main protagonist your party needs. Training themselves in the way of the katana, samurai live by the blade or die by the blade. They only care about their blades and no one else. Samurai are what we call selfish DPS in Final Fantasy XIV Online, since they bring no party utility except for their big, fat, juicy damage. Ah, the burden of only being wanted for your gigantic hits and enormous crits. Woe is me! Since, at the end of the day, it's just you and your katana, Samurai is a class that is heavily reliant on personal performance. To begin your 1,000-mile journey towards excellence, you have 3 separate combos that you perform during your standard rotation. Upon completing combos, you have the option to cast special moves in the form of a damage over time, or a legit moving freight truck. Cast enough of these special moves, and you'll release a flurry of blows on your enemy. As you continually move through your combos, you will build up a resource to expend on extra stabs and slashes. Rinse and repeat until your sword is sheathed. After you learn the rotation well enough, you'll realize it's lonely at the tops of the DPS charts. Once you get into Samurai, you get into Samurai. Every Samurai will end up sweaty. It just depends if they're spending 5 minutes in a Swedish sauna with Bjorn or the boys, or on the treadmill at your local Planet Fitness. Results may vary depending on how many gallons you sweat. Do I really have to do another emo song? Okay, fine. Slashing, slicing, and swinging their scythes around, Reapers are here to give Dark Knights a run for their money. Reapers were originally humble farmers before they got invaded by magic users. Being muggles, they were kind of fucked to defend themselves. So, as their last resort, they said screw it and signed pacts with Voidborn demons. Reapers give themselves up to the demons on the battlefield, letting them devour the souls they crave. And that's lore, baby. In case that wasn't good enough for you, Reapers have a very fluid fighting style, swinging their scythes and letting their Void avatar partially possess them. Starting with a standard damage rotation, when you hit enough slices, you can summon your persona to swing for you, making your next ability empowered. Upon casting enough empowered abilities, you enter a burst phase, allowing you to attack faster for a short period, and then ending it off with a bang. Reapers also give teammates a party-wide damage buff, but this is just a slight trick. You gain access to a high damage nuke that gets stronger for every ability that an ally casts during its buff period. In case the situation starts to look bad, Reapers can open a void portal that allows you to slip away and slip back. It's a rather simple job to get the hang of, meaning you can start hacking and slashing right out the door. Just make sure you don't get too drunk off the power, then the demon may take over and your pact will become void. Taking a step away from the boss, magical range DPS, or casters, harness magic to deal large amounts of damage from a distance. Even though they possess range, casters still need to be mindful of where they're positioned due to cast times that are necessary for firing off abilities. Sitting still is a fair trade-off for the amount of damage that these magical men can do, and each caster has their own way of slinging spells. Using a funny little blasting stick, the Black Mage harnesses arcane powers from their surroundings to cast spells of terrifying destruction. Is it time to blow shit up? It's time to blow shit up. Black Mages love blowing stuff up, producing some of the highest numbers in the game. However, there is a catch to this. You need to stand completely still. Yeah, you heard me. You just sit there and hurl spells. That plan's gonna work until the boss remotely looks in your direction and sends an AoE flying your way. Black Mages use long cast timers that require them to remain stationary for the majority of their gameplay. While standing still is strangely hard, the Black Mage's damage rotation is not. Black Mages start off in a fire phase where they deal most of their damage. While blasting away is a good times don't last forever. Eventually, you'll run out of mana and need to swap to an ice phase to replenish that mana back to full. Once you're topped off, you can start firing away again. During your time playing Black Mage, you sometimes get to summon this funny looking circle. Never leave this circle. This is your Black Mage zone. It makes your attacks come out much faster, allowing for big time damage. If push does come to shove, you can zip to an ally and then zip right back to your circle at any time. Being lazy is what a Black Mage is best at, and not moving at all will certainly make you the center of attention, whether you're doing the most DPS or dying to every boss mechanic. The summoner harnesses formulas from their little cookbook of calamity-causing creatures to manifest arcane entities of untold godly power. Oh, and this little guy. Garby! Such a good boy. Honestly, I don't really need to tell you too much about this class. Its name is Summoner, and, well, it summons things. In both identity and rotation, the Summoner just makes sense. There are 5 summons that you will consistently cycle through during your damage rotation. There are 2 keystone powerful summons, a dragon that just nukes the living hell out of anything you attack, and a phoenix that nukes things, but also helps to heal your team. In between each of those keystone summons, you have another 3 summons that you can choose from that range from a super hard hitting phase, to a hard hitting with instant casts, to the lightest and fastest casts of the bunch. It's a great starter class since there are very few cast time in the class's kit. The summons you end up placing down are amazing to look at, but can take up quite a bit of the screen.
Extra thick!
There's an option to change this, but everyone knows that the bigger your summons are, the more damage they deal. To make up for the times your summons accidentally kill people, summoners have a battle resurrection to bring back distracted teammates. Summoners keep things nice and simple, so anyone can have fun causing realm-ending carnage with your little Carby. One hand a rapier and the other a magic crystal, the red mage gets the best of both worlds by combining magical mastery with melee combat to absolutely style on every other class. The best way to describe a red mage's playstyle is being very versatile. They have a team-wide mitigation that also increases the amount of healing granted to everyone, a strong single target heal that can be applied to themselves or an ally, and a battle raise that can be casted multiple times within a very short period. Red mages can single-handedly save entire runs by resurrecting both healers within 10 seconds. The red mage's clutch factor is all thanks to their dual cast system. To put it simply, whenever a red mage sits still and casts a spell, they remove the cast time of their next spell. You'll be using this during your damage rotation, consisting of balancing out 2 different resources while trying to keep them as equal as possible. When you reach enough of both resources, you can expend them on parlaying the boss, performing a melee combo, followed by some extremely flashy finishers. With sound effects like these, your combo won't be the only thing that's finishing. While Red Mage does need to sit still to cast some spells as part of their dual cast system, they have strong movement options with their melee combo and optional abilities to keep themselves outside of harm's reach. They are also the only caster to have both a consistent dash in and dash out ability to use against the boss. Just be careful on the way out if you want to keep your health bar above 0. Last, but certainly not least, are the physical range DPS. Thematically, they excel at providing sustained damage to a target during combat and providing support for their party members. The trade-off of that freedom and facilitation is that they have the lowest cap of any DPS role. Remaining as one of the most accessible roles, every physical range DPS has their way to slay from far away.
Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
Taking up the bow and sniping their foes from afar, bards are here to play a song and have their teammates sing along. Wait, how the hell are they supposed to play a song if they just use a bow? Well, technically they use a lyre and a recorder sometimes. Come on, they're just happy to be here. On that note, bards shift through 3 different ballads that buff their teammates or alter their gameplay in some way. In each different ballad, the bard can get random procs to gain access to a powerful stacking ability, spam one of their specific cooldowns, or attack more frequently. Whenever the bard gets enough procs, they can unleash a powerful arrow that damages everything it passes through. On top of watching for all that RNG, bards also need to maintain 2 different damage over time abilities on the boss for maximum damage. As much as a bard wants to deal damage, they still need to support their teammates. They have the ability to provide extra healing, and to remove common debuffs from themselves or a party member. This class also has unique access to the Perform feature, which allows for the playing of different instruments. It's the only part of the kit that actively doesn't help your teammates at all.
Young Felipe, never been concerned about the he say, she say. Look at my bigger account, you see it's my B-day. Every day, all day, but I do not eat cake, and I do not see hate. Stink meaner, my demeanor with the Nina.
Using their trusty pistol, shotgun, drill launcher, pack of dynamite, flamethrower, chainsaw, whole-ass anchor, thermal detonator, and Geneva Convention violator, Machinist has the freedom to kill things in lots of different ways. This rootin' tootin' gun totin' badassery of a class is the selfish physical range DPS class, only bringing their raw firearm power to the party. They have a simple damage rotation that cycles through different rounds, while they are free to use their heavy hitting abilities wherever they're needed. Machinists build up a resource, and when their gun is heated enough, they can bust it down Machinist style to quickly unleash a burst of rounds for the next few seconds. Each burst fired reduces the cooldown of other abilities, allowing you to spam them as well. It roughly looks like you're having a seizure with all the buttons you're going to be pressing. Add in a stick of dynamite that deals more damage based on the number of abilities that get fired at it. Machinists are known for their absurd amounts of burst damage. Every time you complete a combo, you build up a battery, and when it's charged enough, you can call out a mech real steel style that beats the shit out of whatever you're attacking. Ain't she the cutest? Everything that's a part of its kit has impact, and you can feel the damage numbers coming if you're pumping. Machinist is definitely the class where you'll be getting the biggest bang for your buck. Quite literally. Armed with flourishing yet deadly chakrams, dancers are here to allure all spectators and slice all enemies that dare interrupt their show. At the beginning of every instance, a dancer looks around and chooses someone to be their dance partner. The dancer then buffs that partner and themselves by giving extra damage upon completing a number of dance moves. Normally, you'd want to give this to your best performing DPS member, since they'll make the most use out of it. Alternatively, you can attach it to your significant other, or the person that you think looks cutest in the party. It's flirting without saying you're flirting. Dancers don't just believe that it takes two to tango, as they have a party-wide damage buff that they must dance to complete, and a heal provided they cha-cha real smooth. Dancer's damage rotation is pretty quirky due to its reliance on RNG. It won't make or break your damage, but it'll keep your eyes busy. Dancers start off by cycling through two abilities. There's a possibility they'll unlock a more powerful version of the previous two. Upon using those empowered abilities, there's another chance that they'll gain extra damaging skills. So take a chance to get out there and begin showing everyone your moves. If you want the spotlight for your suave dancing or support abilities, Dancer is your first step into stardom. Whew! That was a lot of classes, huh? I hope this brings you one step closer to finding out which job you want to level next. Thank you to all the people who helped made this video possible, and thank you for watching all the way through. Just remember to have fun and go play Final Fantasy. Sayonara.